Hi, Dean.
How
How are
you?
you?
I'm great, thank you.
So to start, you really at one point in this movie have like the dad stance where you were like standing like this with your like stomach pushed out, and I thought it was like I was like, oh, that's good. That is like that dad. When you get a script like this though, and it is, a horror comedy, and those characters are like those parents that we all kind of know, whether they're our own or someone else's.
Yeah,
How do you like really kind of figure out those little moments where he does the dad stance or he does something that you're like, yeah, that's what that kind of dad would do?
yeah. I mean, I think it was, reading it, the character became very clear to me who he was, and he's a can-do kind of guy. He's a bit ham-handed at it. He says what he thinks. He doesn't filter, which I think some of the comedy comes from. But I think that's what the character is he's that guy that I'll tell it like I see it, and and he wants to fix stuff.
Mhm.
And I think he comes into this movie or into the situation where he's like, you know what, it's going to be a challenge, but we're going to do it. And I'm going to be the guy that makes sure we all get along and blah blah blah. And then it gets obviously quite complicated when the other in-laws get possessed or in-law, the father-in-law. Um, that makes it a little bit harder. But still think at the end of the day, he's trying to make it all work.
Yeah. Well, and I was gonna bring up Brian Cox because I think my letterbox review for this movie was Brian or Logan Roy with like the hand emoji, and then it said Demon Brian Cox just saying the most out of pocket things known to man. Because like I love that in this movie at one point they're like, why is he like homophobic all of a sudden? Why
Yeah,
is Demon homophobic? But
yeah,
I love those little moments in this. I thought it was so funny, and like I love that your character was just trying to be like, no guys, like let's all like we're all gonna figure it out when
yeah.
things are going off the wall. Is that fun for you to play as an actor? Like the kind of not a peacekeeper, but the guy who's at least trying to like logically think through something that is not logical?
Yeah, I think that was one of the draws of the movie for me is that again that character once you establish who that guy is, and then it's like, all right, it's almost like okay, they're this kind of people, I'll deal with it. They're this kind of people, find a way to deal with it. And now he's a possessed homophobic demon. All right, what the fuck? I got to deal with that too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and you get to be married to comedy legend
Ah,
Lisa
fucking
Kudrow in this movie, which the parents, like all four of you, I was like, dang, this is a stacked cast of like legends that I knew and love like for most of my life. How was it kind of, working with Lisa and
ah,
Edie and
ah.
Brian to kind of be those parents because they're such an important part of the movie?
It was amazing. Lisa and I and Parker Posey all shared a house,
Mm.
and we obviously had our different eras. But Edie was right next to us, and we would just. It was just like a fan. It was so much fun. This show off camera, off the set, because we would have movie nights. And here I'm watching. And Lisa Kudrow, I think I agree, is one of the comedic geniuses of our times. Um, and we would like have these improv kind of things that we would do just like fucking around. We'd sit on the porch and someone would say something, we'd pretend like we're this. Parker and I, Parker, we had this long running thing where we pretended we'd have an affair, and then we would like get mad at each other, and we would joke, and she was so good. And we, because all these guys are great, improvers and things like that. And so we brought a lot of that Lisa and I brought a lot of that to the movie itself, where we felt comfortable going off script and just kind of continuing on in some part of the scene. And some of that got in the movie, and I felt like a lot of it felt like it was in the movie because we were so kind of good friends and great chemistry off camera.
Oh, well, thank you so much for talking with me. I think this movie is so much fun. I didn't know what I was getting into, and I was just
Yeah.
laughing on my couch late at night watching it. So thank you for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's a cut. Thank you.
Always the most awkward thing waiting.
I know, I'm
Bye.
so sorry. My camera wasn't popping up.
I was like, okay.
All right, Rachel, I'm sending you to hospitality. Thank you.